Hi, I'm John Cerrito. We're at the Paul Finn Duels, and I'm joined with former Millburn High School coach Jerry Saxel. Jerry, Paul Finn Duels, we're back again.
It's hard to believe, John. I think this is the 16th year, and I feel like we just started these.
Well, you know, it's got a very steep tradition, and they've narrowed it down to 4 teams. We have a team from Connecticut.
We have, again, a private school from Connecticut, and we have 2 local private schools with Pingry and with Newark Academy. Again, things have changed a little bit with wrestling, with the numbers of kids that are out for the different teams. And so this is a nicely even matched duels as far as these 4 squads are concerned.
Now, Jerry, you and I, unfortunately, we do talk about the evolution of life, and Paul and Lori Finn are no longer with us, and you know, they created this for Paul, of course, in his memory, who left Millburn way too early. Why don't we just talk a little bit about Paul Finn?
Well, in 1978, Paul was our state champion, our 3rd one. And again, he is the only person that we know of, and certainly the last one in 1978, to have pinned every single opponent at any weight. He was known as the Gentle Giant. He was over 300 pounds, almost 6'4". Lucky that he had that gentleness about him. There were 2 or 3 times I wanted him to be a little mean on the mat, and he could be mean when he wanted to. But his reputation was one that spread throughout the state. And when we lost him when we did, much too soon, as a young man, the family thought it was proper to be able to give some scholarship money. And so in these last 16 years, we were talking about many thousands of dollars that have gone to wrestlers from Millburn and from opposing schools to go to summer camps and to go to college. And so a death of a young man that knocked us all for a loop has turned out to be something extremely positive for more than 15 years now.
Absolutely. So many people have benefited from it, and we get comments from all over the state because there's nothing like this in the state at this level. Jerry, we're going to do the Pingry Millburn match, and both teams are rebuilding. Millburn is coached by Mark Lombardi, a former great Millburn wrestler in his first year, taking over from Mike Artigler, who did a very nice job for many, many years. But now Mark has an opportunity to be at the helm. What have you noticed by watching the team this year?
I went to 2 practices this year. He runs a wonderful practice. He's very calm. He is Dr. Lombardi. He is the school psychologist that he teaches his classes, the AP classes. And so he has a rare combination, John, of being a kid who took a 2nd in the state and a couple 3rds in the state, an outstanding wrestler, a Lehigh wrestler, who's able to combine the mental aspect of the sport with the physical aspect of the sport. I loved his calmness in the room. He ran a short practice, an hour and a half. There wasn't one single minute that was wasted. He got the kids in, he got the kids out. He teaches the way a wrestling coach should teach. I was extremely impressed. He needs 3 years to try to rebuild this program.
And he will do it. He's working with the younger kids also. And again, Mark, you know, his 2 brothers, Chris and Dave, are great wrestlers here in Millburn. You and I were fortunate to be involved with actually you, all of them, me, 2 of them, and you know, I'm sure he'll have a great run at it. So we look forward to a wonderful day of wrestling, and we look forward to this match. Jerry Saxel, we are here with Pingry and Millburn in the Finn Duels.
Ben Schottner.
Okay, Ben.
Ben Schottner is the wrestler for Pingry. And for Millburn coming out, Jerry, at 113 pounds, should be Michael Policarpio.
Yes, it is.
Having a nice season. I know you've had a chance to watch Michael Policarpio wrestle, Jerry, this year.
He's a nice wrestler, John.
And immediately the headgear goes
Better
on.
wrestler with his headgear on, though, John. His dad, again, captained the Millburn squad back in the 70s.
Siblings have wrestled.
Long and lanky, has a very nice cradle that is used in a number of the matches that I've watched. Gone right from that cradle into a very nice armbar and a pin.
And a very quick pin.
Fast.
26-second pin. Policarpio of Millburn. 6 points, Millburn. Jerry, Millburn comes into this match 9-4. Nice record for a team that is rebuilding.
I don't think that Michael realized he would be on television.
Spellman?
Oh, this is Spellman of Pingry.
Is he there?
And Jerry, I have no idea what he said, but maybe you can help me out. Okay.
We have Z Yang from Millburn, Brandon Spellman.
Nice double by
from
Spellman.
Pingry. Brandon is ranked in the state, John.
Yeah.
For Pingry.
Built nicely, Jerry.
He is their one-ranked wrestler in the top 8. And so you're going to see probably the same kind of result that we just saw with Policarpio at 113 pounds. Again, Pingry had their first match today against the Green Farms Academy from Connecticut. And the Green Farms Academy defeated Pingry in that match. Millburn had Newark Academy, and Millburn defeated Newark Academy in their match. Each of the teams will wrestle the other 3, so they will have a chance to have 3 matches on their schedule today.
Interestingly, too, Jerry, Green Farms, the Seyfried family from Millburn, from Short Hills originally, moved up to West Point. Caleb and his brother wrestled for Green Farms. They were with Newark Academy previously.
Again, the older Brandon is hoping to qualify for the 4th time for the Division II Nationals. So again, nice to have them back in town. Spellman working very, very casually here, knowing exactly what he wants to do. Arm bar, half Nelson, 40 seconds to go in the match. Nice job by Zhang in getting out of that and not allowing himself to be pinned.
And you're right, Coach. Anything less than 6 is a victory for Zhang, for his team. Long way to go.
Running that arm bar, now taking it back the other way. Match is still only 5-0 in the first period. There will be some more back points, I would assume, in the last 10 seconds here.
Very tight combination. Jerry, Roy Dragon's the official here, and you know, where do you put Roy as far as talent in the state, as far as an official? We know he's one of the real
Top 5
elite,
officials.
real elite officials.
Top 5.
He's been doing it a long time.
You're looking at a person, Roy Dragon, who was an outstanding wrestler for Roselle Park. Roy's probably worked as many state finals as any official. He is in charge of the officials in the state of New Jersey right now. Nice switch for 2 points by Spellman. So when you look at Dragon, his positioning on the mat, John, he's always in a position to see the back points. He's always in a position to stop an illegal move so that a young man would not be hurt. You're looking at one of the 5 best in the state.
Jerry, you said you attended some of the practices that Coach Lombardi's had.
Yes, John.
What type of things are they doing in the practice room? You see any difference in the drilling that maybe we saw years ago when you and I were coaching? And
yeah,
you know,
what I see is much more drilling and a lot less wrestling. We did a great deal more wrestling, John, at practice every day. Every day, the 20, 25 minutes of actual hard competition. Again, maybe we could do it because there was a backup in case somebody got hurt, someone could fill in. I'm afraid they can't do that anymore because of an injury. Nice pinning combination.
I want to continue this with the next bout, Coach. I want to continue this conversation. But
3 minutes and 6 seconds fall for Spellman, ranked wrestler.
So we have a 6-6 score. Pingry Millburn. You know, the camaraderie in this sport today. I'm looking at Coach Lombardi and Spellman smiling and laughing together. That never would have happened with you.
Oh.
Pingry wrestler did not come over this season?
Waldman?
Oh, it's Waldman from Millburn. Joe Wellman from Millburn. We didn't get the Pingry wrestler. He went to the wrong table. I would think it's Martin.
Jack Shannon, 126. Oh, that's right. I don't know.
Nice takedown by Jack Martin. could be Jake Shannon, though, Coach. He weighed 226, but his starter was Martin. Okay, so we're talking about drilling, Coach. So, mostly on the feet, from the mat.
I thought Mark did a very equal amount of drilling on feet, on top, and on bottom.
Good.
I did not see the 2 sessions I was there a great deal of drilling on pinning combinations or on counters, but a great amount on feet, top, and bottom. A nice distribution with those 3. Kept them in constant motion, as I said earlier in our opening. No waste of time. 1 water break maybe in the middle for them to scoot out. A good sweat practice for maintaining weight.
As you mentioned, well organized. Jerry, let me ask you something though. You said pinning combinations. Again, the last 10, 15 years of this sport has gone so much to the neutral position, which is feet wrestling. Do you think we've gotten away from pinning combinations? Do you think people get pinned easier when they go to their back? Is that?
You don't see anybody bridge anymore, John. You don't see anybody grabbing that hand and ripping and looking the other way. They start to do that when they're 3/4 of the way over and in a position where they're going to be pinned. There doesn't seem to be the panic of going to your back that it used to be when you were there. There was also something that dealt with the fact that getting pinned on a Millburn team in the 60s and 70s wasn't an embarrassment. You didn't want it to happen. It had to be a far superior wrestler to put you onto your back to pin you. Again, half Nelson here, first time over, and again by Martin, a nice fall to put Pingry into the lead over Waldman.
Little shoulder injury by Waldman too, Coach. Okay, we go up. It's 12-6 Pingry, Coach Saxo. Go to 132. 32-pounder.
Name?
Tikas. Travis Green. Tikas.
Tikas and Green. Green for Millburn. Tikas for Pingry. 2 nice builds. Like the intensity those guys have taken to the mat. Travis, another tall, lanky guy, Coach.
Yes. Green a little more the aggressor out here on his feet.
Al Martino, another former Millburn wrestler, helping Coach Lombardi this year. Both wrestlers just looking for wrist control right now.
Difficult for Tikas to penetrate on Green with his length. Each wrestler working for that wrist control, but neither has shot a legitimate move.
Nice little drop single though by
Green.
Got to gather it up, Coach. He's got to pull on that leg and gather, get a little bit of height.
Good sprawl by Tikas to prevent that takedown.
Good exchange, both wrestlers. Again, a good little single. Stay low,
head outside
back door.
or go back door.
Oh, potentially dangerous, Coach, or illegal. Illegal scissor?
Scissors on the head.
There again, you saw a great official picked it up very quickly.
Yep.
And he's one of the few officials, Coach, I don't disagree with. I can't argue with.
And a person who had sons and daughters at Bridgewater High School superior athletes in field hockey, in wrestling, in track. Tremendous children as athletes. Principal of a school.
Well, let me ask you something. You being an educator, why are so many former coaches, principals, administrators?
I think two things, John. The first thing is they're used to disciplining, and they carry that over into an academic area. And I really think the second thing is budgeting time. You got to be a superintendent or principal of a school in New Jersey in this day and age. You know how many meetings you're at? You know how many things during the day, in the evening? And you did that as a coach. You went to your seating meetings, you had your tournaments, you had practice every day. I think you have an ability to delegate your time in a manner that allows you to be extremely efficient.
Good movement by Green, Coach Saxon, from the bottom. I mean, you know, he got up. Teague did a wonderful job taking him down the map, but he never stopped moving. He still isn't. Good base. He's got to get some height.
A couple close locking of hands by Tikas on top.
Coach Lombardi likes to get that neutral. He likes to get that point, Jerry. And every coach has their own style. That's the way Mark wrestled. You know, you, of course, were very much a mat wrestler. You'd be looking often for switches and sits and switch combinations off other moves, whether they were standing or sitting inside.
Trying to get that arm behind his head. Going to a little guillotine.
Get your arm down.
Little guillotine into the guillotine position. Set it up beautifully. Tikas knew what he was doing. Green was not ready for that move.
That was experience there, Coach. You feel that. When that arm's up like that, you know you have to bring it down, and that's too bad.
3 minutes and 7 seconds. Very nice win by Tikas of Pingry.
Yes, it was a nice win, and it was a match that I think Travis Green was capable of winning. 6 points, Pingry. You know, Jerry, we just looked at all these matches. They've all ended in pins. You were talking about pins before. There were some seasons where 1 or 2 pins were the max for the whole year.
One year we wrestled 12 matches, and one person got pinned out of those 144 matches.
Brotman, Marcus.
Winner on mat 2, Green's Farm Academy, 54-24.
All right, so Coach, we have Barry and Marcus. Now, I would think Jackson is probably the most versed and skilled wrestler. I know he's hit some rough patches this year, but he's got the ability to go out there and win big matches, that's for sure. Always liked his build, long and lanky and muscular.
The Barry clan were very fine wrestlers, parents and others over at Columbia High School.
I remember them, Coach. Remember their rec coach, Hal Garwin, screaming and yelling throughout the whole gym, but I love Hal.
And Al Hector.
Al Hector, their varsity coach. Not as animated. All right, Jackson, turn the corner there. Front headlock, going into a cradle, hopefully, Coach. Yep.
Looks that way.
Good anticipation. Keep going towards his hips. Pop the shoulder, which he did. And again, a lot of time left on the clock, but Coach, it looks like every bout so far has ended in a pin. It looks like this one will also. And it does. Nice win by Jackson Barry.
Minute and 16 seconds. Nice win for
Winner
Millburn.
by 10, Jackson Barry.
Okay, Coach, we move up a weight class here. 145.
Harry Fleisen, Mason Stoll.
Right. Harry Fleisnick and
Mason Stoll.
yep. And Coach, the name Fleisnick seems like it's been around forever.
I know.
Between him and his brother.
And I was very much impressed with the way he and Jackson Barry worked with one another for the 2 practices that I went to. They were not easy with one another. Each helped make the other one a better wrestler.
Gotta get a little movement going on your feet, Coach. Let's talk about that a little bit. What are we looking to do on our feet
Trying to
create
move
some space?
Got to try to move the opponent, and he's doing that a little bit with trying to control the head. I've yet to see too many changes of level, but you had a beautiful level change there by Fleischig to drop down into that single. No control yet. Now he gets his 2 points.
What I liked about that, Jerry, was kind of an ankle pick single. You know, he pushed on the opponent's head.
And end up with a stalemate here in a second. I missed by 1 second. Sorry, it took 2 seconds, John.
You're not doing it every day anymore, I know.
2-on-1 control by Fleischig on top.
Jerry, I think Millburn, I've seen the bar arms today from the top. I'm seeing some tilt, but a lot of cradle still, which is nice. I've always been a big proponent of the cradle, depending on the build.
And Mike Artiglaire, who had been the coach for a number of years, 15 or so years. Mike was also an outstanding cradle person.
Yes, he was. And as we said in our opening, Mike had some very good teams here, Coach Saxel.
And some very fine individual wrestlers. Stahl making a good move, trying to come out and hook a leg on Fleischig if he can.
Now, what do you have going on here, Jerry? I know that Fleischig's on the ankle, and you can't stay on the ankle too long. However, the whole crowd...
Nice step across. Very nice step across by Stahl.
There's your blood time.
What time for Fleischig?
You know, Jerry, we're just talking about coaches and longevity of coaches. We just said Mike Artiglaire was the coach here for 15 plus years. You were the head coach here for 15 years, correct? Bill Myron was the head coach for 20. You went on and became an assistant for many, many years after that. Of course, you coached 3 sports. You know, I mean, I know it's obviously a passion, something that you love, but do you feel there's a shelf life to being a head coach? A lot of guys, even John Liberato up in Summit, you know, head coach of football for many, many years. Now he's the assistant coach of Summit. Is there a reason for that type of transition?
You get burned out. Number one, the amount of time that we were just talking about before makes a difference. Second thing is, in most cases, those coaches started as single young men. And then somewhere along the line, they found a good-looking gal, and they got married. And then somewhere along the line, they had children. And now all of a sudden, it's not the same. It's not just you not worrying about what to do going home at night. All of a sudden, you have other obligations. And there are other challenges. And then if your kids are at all athletic, or they play a good flute, you want to see them in the play. You want to see them in the musical. You want to see them in the concert. You want to see them when they're at midget wrestling or running cross country for Summit. And so your time becomes more valuable. Almost out at the end, ran out of time. And the second thing I think that ties in with all of that is you become very emotionally involved with the kids that you do coach. And sometimes they let you down a little bit, and sometimes they lose when they shouldn't have, and sometimes you start to doubt yourself. I loved, like you did, being a freshman and an assistant coach to Bill Myron. Cradle and leg is hooked. His own leg is hooked again by Stahl. Stahl stepped across the last time here and got points. Fleischig hoping to turn that into points for himself. 2-2 match here.
It's funny though, Jerry. I've been watching Fleischner for years. That's a wonderful tie up top. He's awkward, but very effective with his awkwardness.
Nicely done. Good weight balance out on the toes. Nicely done. Arms are tied up.
Plenty of time.
Stahl.
Just squeeze tight. Squeeze really tight. Make him want to quit.
Still more than a minute left in this second period to get that fall.
That's it right there, Coach. Should be it. Oh.
Fine
Nice
job
fight
by Stahl getting off his
Nice fight
back.
by the Pingry kid.
Stahl certainly didn't stall there. He worked very hard to get off his back. Only to be right on it again.
A little too easy going back to it. We have blood on Stahl, so they'll probably stop it if he gets back to his base.
You see the official checking the time to see if he can let it keep going.
Jerry, all of Harry's pinning combinations have been way up top, not really chest to chest.
Another 3 points.
Watch his own back. Coach Lombardi picked up on that. Okay.
8-2 going into the last period. Fleischner ahead.
All right, Coach, let's see how long it takes Fleischner to get out. Coach Lombardi just hollered 5 seconds. There's the switch. Good job.
Beautiful
Very
switch.
effective. Finish
Beautiful switch for 2 points. Took him 4 seconds.
Oh, boy, Coach.
Right to the forearm.
I love those switch combinations, Coach Saxel.
Working immediately for another pinning combination.
Driving his hip. Sit with it, Harry. Up, he doesn't have it locked.
(10-2), 8-point spread right now. Major decision for 14 points.
Pace of the match has slowed down all of a sudden, Coach.
And again, John, I'm going to assume that a number of the Pingry kids, maybe not a number on the team, but might be from Millburn Short Hills. And so I'm sure that I did see before the match when they were warming up before 9 o'clock, a number of Pingry kids talking to a number of Millburn kids. Probably went to elementary school with them.
Well, with the advent of all the clubs today, too, Jerry, these kids see each other on the weekends and at night. They develop friendships. They travel together. I think it's true in all sports today.
Good forward pressure by Harrison there.
Fleischner's looking to lock his hands for another cradle. He has it.
Are locked.
Is he going to sit?
I hope he sits. I don't want him to dive through.
No, he dove through, and that's the only way he can get in trouble. The only way he can get in trouble, which he almost did.
And he almost pinned himself.
Yeah. That's when you said you wanted to see him sit. I knew what you were thinking. But Jerry, again, unfortunately, you and I have talked about Matt Sense and know your capabilities. Guess Harry felt confident that he could dive through.
If you watch that tape, you can come up with a 2 second fall there. 13-2, 14 points.
So a victory by Harry Fleischner over Stahl of Pingry at the 145-pound match. 18-16. Pingry is winning on the team clock. Jacob Ventura?
Yes, sir.
Jacob Ventura from Pingry.
Sam Cohen.
Sam? There's 2 Ventura brothers.
This is Zach.
This is Jacob.
Oh, Jacob.
Jacob from Pingry.
The 2 practices that I went to, John, Cohen was the person I was most impressed with on the Millburn squad. I thought he resembled the wrestlers that were like the kids who wrestled. When you wrestled for me in the early 70s and late 60s, he is mean, he's aggressive, he hurts people, he never stops moving. Of all of the wrestlers at the 2 practices I went to, he was the only young man I went over and asked what his name was and what his background was.
That's consistent with our opinion from last year when we watched him wrestle. And again, working the bar arm. He makes you carry his weight. He's very physical. There's
Beautiful
the cradle.
Cradle set up.
Sit. Knee to the hip.
And he's tight. He's tight with that cradle. It's done. A minute and 1 second.
Very nicely done.
Nice build, strong kid, good wrestler.
Sam Cohen. This will be Finkelstein of Millburn at 160 pounds. Millburn takes the lead 22-18. We're going to go up to 160, Coach. Sam Finkelstein. Cohen. Okay. Here's one for you, Coach. We just put Cohen on the mat. Now Pingry's putting Cohen on the mat.
Sam in on a nice double, coming out the back door.
Good job popping his head, get down to the
and
mat.
Getting his points. Good escape by Cohen.
Nice low single. Finkelstein. Look to cut him. Look to cut him or
back
run
to
him.
the center of the mat, which I like to see.
There's the cut. Stay in. Almost. I don't know what year Finkelstein's in. He's got a nice build, Coach. 160 pounder. Cohen in on a single, gathering it, staying low. Looking to turn the corner on it, which he did. He covered the leg nicely. He's got a limp arm out.
Whoa, what a nice move by Finkelstein. Just a hip switch into a reversal, or a takedown, and into a pin.
6 points.
What a nice
Millburn.
combination.
Very nicely done. Another 6 for Millburn, Coach Saxel, bringing the score to 28-18. And Jerry, you're better at this than I am, but has every bout ended in a pin except for one?
I think so. And that was a 4-point decision. When people go to their back, John, they get pinned.
Name? Holden Shikani?
Holden Shikani.
Tristan German?
Tristan, good luck. Kapati?
Yeah. Shikani.
Shikati?
Shikani.
At 170 pounds. You know, Jerry, it's Chapati with a headlock, Coach Saxon. A lot of movement at 170 pounds. Millburn has put on Tristan Germa, I believe his name is.
I watched him in his earlier match, Holden Shikani, and he's tough. Very, very physical.
Bar arm, figure 4 on the head, and that's a tough combination to get out of. Good fight. Very nice fight. Well, Tristan hasn't stopped moving, Coach Saxon. You have to like that fight. It looks like he's overpowered a bit.
2 back points before to make it 4-0. I like the fact that Roy Dragon is letting the wrestling continue, even though the headgear is not on, because the young man has worked pinning combinations. There has really not been a time to stop the action. Arm bar. Balance. Germer working very hard not to go to that back. Tough combination to fight.
Shikani with the pin.
Minute and 34 seconds.
6 points for Pingry, tightening the match up to a 28-24 score. Millburn is in the lead. And we're winding this down too, Coach. We're down to the last, what did we start at, 113? We have 4 weights to go.
Chris Waltzinger.
Chris?
Dennis Cho.
Okay, Dennis. Dennis Cho from Millburn. Chris Wilson. Cho. Dennis, Wilson. Wilsinger. Chris Wilsinger at 182 pounds for Pingry. Dennis Cho from Millburn, who weighed in at 170, Coach Sack, so they're pushing him up a bit. Tell you what, Jerry, I'm impressed with the fact that both teams are filling the weight classes this year.
Yeah, they are, John. Good move by Cho. Needs to get that head out to get some points. Pop that head, and he has his 2.
A lot of forfeits with North Academy, so that match went very quickly with Green Farms.
Cho, nice job of working for that takedown and controlling his opponent.
Again, Troy working the ankle and crossface, trying to get the cradle. Seeing so many cradles today.
Walsinger getting into a position where we have another stalemate coming. 2-0 Cho over Walsinger. 30 seconds left, first period. 2-on-1.
Coach Saxel, good team match for the viewing audience to follow this year. 28-24, Millburn.
And I do think the Millburn has some forfeits that they're going to have to give at the end, John.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but I think we're hurting in the last 2 weights. So this match is an extremely important one.
Again, with Millburn's victory over North Academy earlier today, Coach Lombardi's team is 9-4.
Pingry opted to have the choice in the last period. So Millburn starts down here. Joe hoping to score points.
Oh, interlock. There's the point.
One point for the locked hands. Makes it 3-0. Have to move up out of those legs. You'll see Dragon looking. Good job by Walsinger to move up. Still 3-0. Good base by Cho, but he has to do something with it.
Walsinger does a nice job dropping down to the legs, but he has to get off them and work up, or he's going to get hit for. There's an interlock again, Coach Saxel. Another penalty point.
Interlock. They are interlock. Another point.
Jerry, interlocking needs to have what? It's either a pinning combination or an arm in there?
Or when the person's supporting pointer off the mat, when they're standing. And on the bottom, you can lock your hands from the bottom. 4-0, 2 points earned, 2 points given. Close to a full Nelson. If there's another technical violation, it will be 2 points, not 1.
I think this is one of those situations, if I'm the Pingry coach, I'm letting him go and I'm going to just go to my feet. Seems like Wetzinger has a tough time keeping his hands from being apart. .16 seconds. He can lock there because they're not in the down position. Correct, Coach?
Correct.
Good job covering the leg by Walsinger. This is going to run out this way. He did a nice job riding him, but he's down 4-0.
4-0, third period. Pingry wants the wrestler down.
All right, so start coaching. Start telling me what you anticipate here.
I'm telling this kid to stand so he can get 1 point and go for a takedown to take the Millburn wrestler down towards his back.
What are you telling the Millburn wrestler to do? Is he going to try to
telling
ride him,
him
or
to-
is he going to let him go?
I'm going to say forward pressure right off the whistle, drive forward.
Okay, there it is. Chop the arm, though. Got to have a little more pressure than that. Got to be a little nastier with that, Coach. Win the first shot. Looking for a 2-on-1.
And he's making the Pingry wrestler carry his weight, which is good.
Yep. Just don't get too far out in front.
Good tight waist, near arm. Got his hip sink a little bit. Allowed Walsinger to almost step across.
Troy's burning the clock, Coach.
And again, Dragon has to be looking for pinning combinations on top. Very easy at this point if he wants to call Millburn for stalling, for not doing a pinning combination.
There's the warning, Coach Saxel. The warning went to the top man like it
stall.
should have.
Like
And
I said,
that
he's not working for a pin. I would have called that a little bit sooner. It's an advantage for the defensive wrestler now to be able to come out from the bottom.
there's the lock,
Score
Coach.
again, locked hands by Millburn.
Coach, we have 5 points scored in this bout, 3 which are penalty points. You don't want to beat yourself. Walsinger does not really have anything from the bottom, Coach Saxel.
No, there's no real move.
Troy's got the cradle. Know where you are. Good job. 21 seconds. Now, Coach, talk to me. You're up by 3 points.
I don't want him to cradle.
You just want him to ride
I
him
want him.
as long as possible.
Yeah.
Cut him out.
I'm
cut
afraid
him loose.
if he cradles, he could go to his own back
I agree.
in 20 seconds.
It's okay to get reversed here. Just don't go to your back. Know where you are. Know where you are. Use the out of bounds to your advantage.
We'll end at a 4-1 score in favor of Millburn and Cho.
Good win. Dennis Choi, 4-1.
Check, 1, 2, 2.
3 points for Millburn. 31-24. We're at 195, Coach. There's going to be Noah Fan for Millburn.
Let's go, Liam. Come on, hurry up.
I'm sorry, it's Liam Haggerty. Liam Haggerty. Thanks, Liam.
I think this is a forfeit, John. No one for Pingry at this weight.
Oh, he's surprised, though. I think they're moving someone up. He had too much fire in his eyes
One
to
of our-
think it was a
one of
forfeit.
our better wrestlers,
Yeah, Liam
Haggerty.
Haggerty. Yes, he's done a nice job
Christmas
this year.
tournament champion.
Yeah. It's too bad we didn't get a chance to see him wrestle, but he's doing a great job. We'll see him next year, hopefully, Coach.
Noah Fan.
Noah Fan. Okay, this is Noah Fan. Noah's 195 pounds. Campbell.
Thomas Campbell.
Good luck, Tom. Thomas Campbell for Pingry. Very respectful when they come over here, aren't they, Coach?
Yes, they are. Well, they have the right colors, both teams.
Yeah,
Blue and white.
Noah weighed in at 195, but we're wrestling at 220.
2-point takedown by Campbell.
And Thomas Campbell's all of the 220, Coach. As long as he keeps his feet in bounds, Coach, he's okay.
New rules, right.
Yep.
In the past, as long as those supporting points are in. Far leg, far ankle, good breakdown by Campbell. Good half Nelson, far wrist. Tough pinning combination to escape from if he goes over. And he's going to go over, and it will be a fall.
It will be, Coach. He's giving away a lot of size. Not an easy situation for Noah. Good fight, though.
Good job of coming off the back. I did not think he would be able to get out of that.
Look out for the full Nelson, yeah. Protect that neck. Did Roy Dragon hear you, Coach, on that? Yeah.
Got to get that left arm through, and he's not.
Oh. It's a lot of weight, Coach.
Yeah.
Chest to chest. Nice job, but he's got to put his head down, not up. There's a fall.
2 minutes and 40 seconds. Good fall for Campbell. Good 6 points for Pingry.
37-30 Millburn, and we're coming down to the big guys, Coach.
Forfeit, I think, for Pingry at this rate.
It's a forfeit for Pingry?
Yes.
Coach Sachs, a good time to thank Amanda Olson, our station manager at HTTV, and our
Jason Greenberg.
Jason.
Jason.
Okay, Jason. Jason's going to go out and grab the forfeit. And again, we're sorry we don't have the chance to watch him wrestle. I know he probably wanted to wrestle. Amanda, thank you so much for being here today.
Good win for Millburn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be your last match on Mat 1. Be featuring the 106 weight class. Wrestling from Millburn, Griffin Geller.
Okay, Griffin, good luck. Over here.
Wexler?
Okay, good luck, Sam. I know Sam Wexler. I think he's from Millburn.
So do I.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing
He's Short Hills
when I
kid.
saw the name.
I think I remember him coming out for the All-Star teams, Coach, over the years. Nice takedown.
Good 2 points by Sam. Or by
No,
Griffin.
That was by Griffin. Jerry, you were one of these first weight guys early on in your career. In those days, you started by the first bout.
Right.
You used to say you loved that.
I love
Get it over with.
Get it over with. Hopefully get the team off to a good start by getting a win.
You always did. You never lost.
As I've said in the past, it cost me a lot of money, John, meeting those kids in the locker room beforehand, slipping them a fin somewhere down the line,
Oh, geez,
having them
Coach.
take that fall.
Well, for our viewing audience, if you haven't already known this, but Coach Sachs was an undefeated wrestler at Jonathan Dayton, a two-time state champion, undefeated for Notre Dame Hall of Fame, and Coach.
But there was one kid in high school that I forgot to pay off. My only loss in high school was a 2-1 score. I blew it at that one.
There he
Nice
goes.
pin by Geller.
Geller, good job.
Nice job. Nice way to finish the match.
Well, Coach Lombardi, your Millburn team did a very nice job beating up a full Pingry squad almost here today, and that wasn't the result last year.
Yeah, no, the team is exactly where I wanted it to be at this point. You know, we always want to be a little bit better, but first of all, what I'm most proud of is we're filling all the weight classes. You know, that was one of my goals when I got this job. Fill all the weight classes. So we did that, and if you do that, you're on good. You're on a good
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's not so easy in today's environment. There's a lot of weight classes.
Yeah.
First of all, 14 of them. Coach, again, so many wonderful things that you saw on the mat today. A lot of good drop singles. You know, we're seeing cradles, a ton of cradles, and I know that really wasn't you know, I don't know if that was in your game plan coming into this year or not, but you have a lot of cradles, you have a lot of bar arms.
Yeah. Well, Coach Articlair, you know, left the cradle series with these guys, you know, and he did that very well. So they're very good with cradles. We just try to add one or two things to that, you know, a couple like cross elbow and arm bars and things like that. But they came in with a good foundation of cradles, so we don't want to throw that away. We want to keep that. But we're working a lot on the bottom also. As you can see, you know, both teams a little bit too many pins, so trying to stay off our back and keeping those arms free.
Let's highlight some of these boys. Of course, Jackson Barry looked very good today. It was good to see Jackson come on. We know he's got great potential, and he's hit some rough patches this year, but he looked like Jackson Barry too.
Yeah, the captains have been wonderful. You know, Harry Fleissig and Jackson Barry, you know, really helping me with some of the knickknacks that I wasn't aware of coming in as a new coach. So they've been excellent. They've really been like an extension of the coaching staff to a point. And yeah, he's coming off a bit of a knee injury he had early in the year, so he's still not 100%. We're getting him there. So by 2 weeks when the districts are here, hopefully he's at 100%.
Mark, who else? Some of the younger kids.
Well, I want to comment on Fleissig, who's really turned it up the last couple weeks also. 2 great matches today so far, so hopefully he carries that into our 3rd match. We got a mix, some experience and some brand new kids. And the new kids they're working. They're working hard, they're learning. It takes time, obviously. Griffin Geller at 106 is coming on. Noah Fan, who is our 195 pounder, I found him in the weight room this fall, has never stepped on a mat in his life. Doesn't have a win yet, but he's coming back, he's working, putting in effort, and that's what we asked for.
What year is Noah in?
Sophomore.
Good.
Yeah, so he's you know, still body, still immature. He'll get there.
Yeah, definitely. How many kids?
We have 24 on the roster. Yeah, 24. And we didn't lose any, so we're happy with that too.
10-4. Did you expect that?
You know what? I told them the first day, I don't care about the record. I don't care about the wins and loses. Just get better every day. So 10-4 is nice, but to be honest with you, what I'm most proud of is that they're sticking with it, they're enjoying it, and they're getting better.
Good job, Coach Lombardi, and we look forward to following you as time moves on.
Yep. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Jerry Saxel, class of 78, just giving $2,000 to the science room. Nice, written Paul Finn's name.
I know it. Right. I went to their reunion. They're a lively class. They're a lot of fun, and they take great pride in being part of the class that Paul was in.
All right, let's talk about this real quickly. Match.
Good. Kids look good. We watched them win 2 matches today. They got a tough match coming up, their last match for today. But the Finn Duels have lived up to what we hoped they would live up to.
Mark Lombardi's doing a nice job. He's filling the lineups, and it was a great match. So thank you for joining this Paul Finn Duel tournament today, and thank you for watching HTTV.